And the police state ends with me. And we've made it one more day. Now, folks, over our many videos, we've talked a lot about what the police, and especially the Bartlesville Police, laughingly call lying under oath. They call it test-a-line instead of testifying. We've also talked about what they call, quote, a humble. What the police call it when they purposely breach a person's civil and human rights and steal their property, damage their property, to prove to the citizen that the police have all the power and that the citizens have none, to terrorize a citizen of the United States of America, to, as the police call it, put the person in their place, as, quote, they call it, quote, a humble. We've also talked about how often police in the USA plant evidence and frame innocent people, and we've gone into great detail about how the Bartlesville Police will frame people. And you can go back and watch that video, what the Bartlesville Police will do to frame you, I believe is the name of it. Folks, see the video in the description below. The video is titled, Fox Legal Analyst Planting Weapons on Victims used to be, quote, standard operating procedure. I'll read it again. The title of the video is from the Fox Legal Analyst, is Planting Weapons on Victims used to be standard operating procedure. Now watch the video. I mean, it's only about 2 minutes long. I'm pretty sure it's only about 2 minutes long. It's shocking. And now there's little doubt, if you've watched Fox News, then you'd know that it leans towards extreme support of police in almost all circumstances. So if Fox News would say this live on the air, well, you know what is going on. And I think that they feel like they could say it probably because they're saying it's not that way anymore. Well, I'm here to tell you from my own personal experience, it's still going on, folks. And we know that from that video that they showed of the guy planting the taser. Right? That wasn't that long ago. So you can't say it happened in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and it's not happening anymore when I've seen it firsthand, so at least I know it. So does Anthony Lynn. He knows. And we've seen the video of that police officer planting the taser on that guy after he shot him in the back. And it's not just one or two examples. We see it all over the country. We've seen people arrest sober people. We've seen police officers on YouTube arrest sober people for DUI just to make their lives a mess, and then get caught on their own dash cam recording laughing with another police officer about how they're going to destroy this person. Folks, and please don't pretend it's just my experience, the one where the guy got shot in the back and planted the taser, and then that one I just mentioned. There are literally thousands of them that you can find. It's disgusting, and it's not old stuff either. There's new stuff. So it's not used to be. Planted evidence is happening all too often. It is a daily occurrence in this country, and the Bartlesville Police do it. The Washington County of Oklahoma does it. The Judge Vac law goes along with it. This is happening today. Every day, right now as I speak, all over this country. And again, I'm not saying all cops. I'm saying bad cops would do that. What good person would do something like that? I mean, do you know how much it destroys our country when the government frames people? Because I say it again, the police, with all these people saying, well, I don't trust the government, but I support the police no matter how much bad things they do. The police are the government, folks. The police are the government. They're paid with your tax dollars, and they are the lethal arm of the government. They contact more citizens in the United States of America daily than any other form of government. It tears our country into tatters when the government frames people like they're doing me. I'm not saying the USA is doing it, I'm saying a small town in Oklahoma is doing it, but the FBI knows about it, and the EOC knows about it, tons of people know about it, senators know about it, no one's doing squat. And you can say to yourself, well, I don't believe him and he's guilty, and the guy that's never been in trouble in his life. And, well, we're just going to say that it doesn't happen and he's just lying. Folks, there's evidence. If you don't want to watch the videos, talk to someone who has. This is proven. They're corrupt. I understand people's fear of wanting to do something about it, but don't pretend it didn't happen. Don't pretend it's not happening. It is happening. Make no mistake, we have serious problems with this type of framing of innocent people. I know firsthand from the Bartlesville Police. I know it. And the problem is so do they. And Anthony Lynn, spelled L-E-I-N, Anthony Lynn, the president of the Bartlesville Fraternal Order of Police, and the lying Bartlesville police officer that signed the fraudulent search warrant affidavit that didn't even have the right address on it, let alone all the lies in it, knows he lied before God under oath. He knows it. And to this day, not a single bit of accountability has happened for that. See, the problem we have here is this, is that Anthony Lynn knows he's a liar. And worse than that, he knows I know as well. He has a real problem. But by his using the color of law to destroy a person, creating awful, disturbingly sick written court documents about me that are completely 100% sickening. He has backed me into a corner, and I've said this before, you don't back a man into a corner. I have no family, and we've talked about this before. I won't go into the details of these things, but I'm going to repeat a few things, but you can go back and watch the videos if you want the details. I have no family. I have no friends. No one will even come around me or speak to me. I have no ability to have an income if I ever want to be employed again. I have been defamed for life. I'm not safe in my own home. I know at any moment the guy that lives 2 doors down from me could come back down here and he could kill me. No one is going to even care. Obviously, no one's cared about it so far. I've had my home, my sanctity of my home, breached and my home torn apart and mud smeared on the walls. That's what they call the humble. What they call a humble. Damage and harm your property, threaten you. I've been threatened. I've lost now 35 pounds is how much I've lost in the past year from this. The stress and knowledge that you are under terror. I'm being terrorized by a group of armed robbers that can get away with killing me, and they know it. But they're liars. And they're not used to coming up against somebody that stands up to them. But like I've said before, they've gone so far with this, I have nothing to lose. Sure, the only thing left is they could kill me. Well, I'm not going to live in a police state, and go along with it. I'm going to, I said, a year from now or 20 years from now, this is going to come to light. And I've said from the very beginning that I am not a danger to myself, any other person, property, animal, anything. They are a danger to me, and that is what this is about. Documenting this. And to see Anthony Lynn, I managed to find a couple of those news reports online of him standing up there saying, well, we still have an open investigation. The man is a psychopath. The man is an absolute psychopath that can stand up there and lie like that. Now, he could say it's open. Maybe he's wanting to say that still. But I have gotten comments from Bartlesville police officers that have inferred that the investigation was over the minute they left the house. A direct task force investigator. Now, I haven't spoken to the person, so I cannot say for sure, but what I will say is there's no true investigation going on. I know that, and Anthony Lynn knows that. There never was one. Again, real problems. And I can't get anyone to answer me, but there was a post online that the chief of police has resigned up there the Bartlesville chief of police has resigned. I cannot prove that. I do not know that. I've asked the question on a huge group with over 4,000 people in it. No one will answer the question. But if he did resign, that may not even be a good thing. Because Anthony Lynn is a bigwig. He's the Fraternal Order of Police president, and he's a bigwig up there. He's likely to be the next chief of police. And things will be worse than they are now. Think about it. But he's got some serious problems. Does he really want to take that last final step with and have them, organize a way that they can get the media to go along with it and say, oh, he was a bad guy, and kill me? Because that might. Now, I'm not saying might. I'm saying maybe a 30% chance, 70% chance it'll just go away, nobody will care. But there's about a 30% chance if they do that there'll be a real investigation. I mean, that they'll really come in, that somebody with the Justice Department or something will say, well, we better at least look at this, and then they'll discover what happened. The whole thing was a frame-up and angry at me for bringing it forward as a whistleblower, and they killed me. Does he want to take it that far? Right now, they have such power, and no one gives a crap about this so much that there's maybe a 1% chance they're going to get held accountable in the near future. Like I said, I'm not going to stop. It takes me 20 years. I'm not going to stop. But as of right now, there's about a 1% chance that he's going to be held accountable in the near future because nobody gives a crap and no one's investigating it. But if he takes it that last step, I think that jumps up to 30% chance. Does he want to take that risk? The man's a psychopath. He's got a real problem. Is he going to let this continue and people watching these videos and looking at the evidence and realizing we've got problems? He has associated himself as a group of criminal actors. They're organized crime, him and the rest of his police officers up there. Again, I've said it. Blunt. Don't say I'm inferring this, I'm saying it. There's no evidence that there's even one good police officer in the Bartlesville Police Department. Because, again, you can't say you're a good cop if you know someone else is doing these illegal acts. Do you know? I mean, it's a felony. It's like 10 years in prison, I believe, to perjure yourself. Anthony Lynn lying under oath before God is a felony. And let alone all the other things they've done under the color of law, which is a federal offense, another huge felony. This is huge. And the problem is you let the government do this and it grows. This has happened to many other people. No one else will come forward like I'm doing that I know of right now and talk to the media as well, even, and put these things on YouTube for everyone to nitpick apart. I mean, like I've said before, personally, I'm a quiet person. You can't imagine the 35 pounds I've lost. You cannot imagine the stress it brings me to be up here and bringing this forward. I'm a nice guy. I've got a little bitty dog. I'm very much of a homebody. I'm just a quiet guy. To have to come up here and to do this, to get, even today, maybe 1% of the people that watch this even give a crap, to get just that little 1% to even listen, for all this work, this is our government, that there's not a single outlet to address corruption like this. I'm looking at my time here. I gotta finish up. Tomorrow I'm going to bring forward a video showing the comment I mentioned to you from the Drug Task Force investigator and go into more detail on that. Now, I've provided those things to the media. As of now, nobody's talking about them. But these are provable, written, documented facts. And we'll go into detail about those tomorrow. Again, though, Anthony Lynn has a big problem because he knows he's a liar and he knows I know, and he knows I'm not going to shut up. What the Bartlesville Police are allowed to do, lie under oath before God and get away with it, what is next? What is next, folks, after that? Well, I've already said that. What more will this corrupt police department do and cover it up? I say no more, no more. The police state ends with me. And with that said, I'll see you tomorrow.